In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So there are some Bible verses in my cosmological framework. The link is in my bio. And the reason for this is not to go into any one particular direction. Even in my comparative analysis, I say a lot of that structure aligns most with Hindu cosmology. However, depending on the samskaras in your lifetime and how you are meant to contribute to the collective, you will have different wounds heal, and that's what you will end up transmitting. So for me personally, my wounds came from a group that claims to know Jesus, yet is the same group of people that actually turns other people away from Jesus's message deep in the heart. When it comes to non-dual Shiva Tantra, Shiva representing non-dual infinite cosmic consciousness will ask of us to activate the heart, as that is the seat of the divine. And it is actually as per Shiva's instructions to come to me and say, you cannot claim to know me and also hate this group. It is time to find that love and forgiveness, and that's its own whole more of a personal journey. But this is a heart-centered cosmology after all, and Jesus is a deity of the heart, and it's very powerful. Now, my cosmology, I would say, aligns with Panpsychism, but I talk about awareness as fundamental, consciousness as the middle step, the dynamism of movement between infinite potentiality, and then self-awareness as a natural byproduct. I also state in my cosmology that everything is constructed via articulation by the 4 layers of Vox, starting with para, transcendental sound, Pashyanti, kind of like cosmic synesthesia, the metaphorical sort of layer, prefractal geometric sort of layer, and then you have Madhyama, which are the thoughts, and then Vaikari, express speech. And I genuinely believe that these 4 layers, if we're just talking about human beings, represent how the brain is a transducer of consciousness, and these are the steps by which we filter through the field of infinite cosmic consciousness. Now, if everything is created by articulation, we just kind of see it as the English language, because that's what we can speak with on TikTok to communicate cosmic data. So if this is the case, then, and I'm arguing that everything is sort of alive. And here in this verse, we see that the Word was God. So if reality, if worlds are constructed by words, they too are conscious. Of course, you have your major system. That's the supreme ultimate. But there's also the question of what happens before the Big Bang, which is our limitation. I will cover early universe cosmology in future videos, because it's a really fun place to be. Yeah. But you know, so we have our material universe that's infinitely expanding, and it is made up of, rather than particles, an alphabet, which I will also cover in another video. So if everything is constructed by words, and I say it's a storytelling model of the universe, and I have a video on why it's storytelling in particular rather than just random grammar, because stories offer a value weighting and a trajectory, and provides meaning and something for experience to even move through. Which, ironically, in this sense, Sanatana Dharma, pre-colonial term for Hinduism, is seen by groups of people as demonic for having multiple deities. There's also integrated information theory, which uses the letter phi to denote the level of complexity of a system, and directly proportionally links that to the level of consciousness that that system has. So it's building from somewhere, right? These fundamental building blocks of reality, which are forms of articulation, creating it. And on top of it, this Bible verse is talking about how the Word is God. When I interpret this, I think that every word has the ability to have selfhood, to gain consciousness as it oscillates and moves in between infinite potentiality. So from my perspective, this actually sort of debunks this idea that other belief systems, especially when you look at things in a polytheistic way, as demonic. Now, I do understand that kind of nuance you have to have with not seeing a subsystem as the ultimate system, but rather a reflection of the ultimate system. So it can hold room for nuance there, but it doesn't mean that this other stuff is wrong, because once again, there is like the God of this material universe in its totality, but there's also sub-gods and subsystems, and they integrate, gaining consciousness, gaining self-awareness, contributing to this ever-expansive dynamic universe.